Wow. He actually thought he was going to win. I mean, John McCain's whole economic policy was Joe the plumber. And please, you hypocrites, stop trying to compare Sarah Palin to Barack Obama. She's not even on that level. Executive experience? Really? I mean, winking and saying you betcha and golly gee and shout outs during a world interview for the highest spot in the office? Are you bananas? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then these McCain supporters and these so-called independents, they don't want to admit that they're McCain supporters. I feel sorry for you guys, you know. Listen, let's be real, okay? Sarah Palin did not know the role of a vice president, okay? And I'm pretty much sure what came out on Fox News about her not knowing that Africa was a continent, not a country, okay? She didn't know that, okay? All right, and there's a couple of things, couple of bloops and blunders she made with the Katie Couric interview. She made some with the Hannity interview. She made a couple of mistakes there. You know, the McCain and Sarah Palin campaign wasn't unified. This goes to show you the vetting process of John McCain with this chick. Yes, she's a chick. She's a high school bubblegum popping, beauty pageant, flute playing, moose shooting, wolf hunting, munching, burger soup sucking, helicopter flying, ambitious chick. I told you so. That video was taken 2 years ago. Now she's a correspondent for Fox News. I mean, like, they didn't give her a whole segment by herself because, stupidity unfolds.
Maine's campaign manager, Rick Davis, spotted Sarah Palin while searching Google and YouTube for possible female vice presidential candidates.
As for that VP talk all the time, I tell you, I still can't answer that question until somebody answers for me. What is it exactly that the VP does every day? I'm used to being very productive and working real hard in administration.
She was struggling to learn too much, too fast.
Her foreign policy tutors are literally taking her through. This is World War I, this is World War II, this is the Korean War, this is how the Cold War worked, this is the new war on terror. They're trying to teach her everything because Steve Schmidt had gone to them and said, she knows nothing.
Been in Congress for 26 years, almost always sided with less regulation, not more.
He's also known as the Maverick, though.
So I'm just going to ask you one more time, not to belabor the point, specific examples in his 26 years of pushing for more regulation.
I'll try to find you some and I'll bring them to you.
We're never going to spend $3 million again to study the DNA of bears in Montana.
Governor this year requested $3.2 million for researching the genetics of harbor seals, money to study the mating habits of crabs. Isn't that exactly the kind of thing that John McCain is objecting to?
Those requests through our research divisions and our wildlife departments and our universities did come through that system, but wanting it to be in the light of day, not behind closed doors with lobbyists making deals with Congress.
When you were mayor of Wasilla, you hired a very prominent lobbyist to get Wasilla money.
We did. We paid $30,000 for a lobbyist who was in D.C. because we're thousands and thousands of miles away from D.C.
All right, she accepted the prank call.
I must say, Governor Palin, I love the documentary they made on your life. You know, Hustler's Nailin' Palin?
Oh, good. Thank you. Yes.
That was really edgy.
Oh, good.
I really loved you. And I must say something also, Governor. You've been pranked by the Masked Avengers. We are two comedians from Montreal.
Oh, have we been pranked? And what radio station is this?
This is for CKOI in Montreal.
In Montreal? Tell me their radio station call letters.
CK... Hello? If one voice can change the world for Obama, one Viagra can change the world for McCain.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I have to let you go. Thank you.
She still didn't really understand why there was a North Korea and a South Korea. She was still regularly saying that Saddam Hussein had been behind 9/11. And literally the next day, her son was about to ship off to Iraq. And when they asked her who her son was going to fight, she couldn't explain that.
She said Africa was a country, not a continent.
Ago, we're told that she didn't understand that Africa was a continent rather than a country just in itself. A whole host of questions that caused serious problems about her knowledgeability. She got very angry at staff, thought that she was mishandled, was particularly angry about the way the Katie Couric interview went. She didn't accept preparation for that interview when the aides say that that was part of the problem, and that there were times where she was hard to control emotionally. There's talk of temper tantrums and bad news clippings.
There were numerous instances that she said things that were not accurate that ultimately the campaign had to deal with, and that opened the door to criticism that she was being untruthful and inaccurate. And I think that that is something that continues to this day.
And you think that's fair criticism?
I think it's fair criticism.
Where?
Yeah. Well, I killed the bridge to nowhere.
I told Congress thanks, but no thanks for that bridge to nowhere up in Alaska.
But it's now pretty clearly documented. You supported that bridge before you opposed it. You were wearing a T-shirt in the 2006 campaign, showed your support for the bridge to nowhere.
I was wearing a T-shirt with the zip code of the community that was asking for that bridge.
But you were for it before you were against it. You were solidly for it for quite some period of time until Congress pulled the plug.
I was for infrastructure being built in the state.
But you turned against it after Congress had basically pulled the plug on it, and after it became a national embarrassment to the state of Alaska. So do you want to revise and extend your remarks?
It has always been an embarrassment.
This video is a special dedication to the Berkshire movement. You know, the orally Tate followers, the Glenn Beckonites, the Palin troopers, the ones who defend Sarah Palin for no apparent reason, because she's cute. I told you 2 years ago. I told you 2 years ago what exactly Sarah Palin was. What exactly John McCain's whole campaign was about. Did I not? It's baffling. It's just baffling.
They flew her to John McCain's ranch in Arizona. Schmidt said he took over the debate prep and simplified it, and Palin began doing well, except for one persistent problem. She kept confusing Joe Biden's name with Obama's, calling him O'Biden.
She did. She did.
Over and over again.
It was a verbal tick, and it was subconscious. But when you had gone through the Tina Fey parodies, you certainly could not be in a position where you'd walk out onto the stage and, refer to him repeatedly on national television as Senator O'Biden. It would have just been, devastating beyond words.
So how'd you get around that?
It was multiple people, and I wasn't one of them, who all said at the same time, just say, "Can I call you Joe?" Which he did.
Hey, can I call you Joe?
So the "Can I call you Joe," which people at the time thought was some sort of strategy, was really just a way for her to be able to say his name without messing it up.
Correct.
You've been bamboozled, hoodwinked. And John McCain, true patriot, America first, the vetting process, as was said in the previous video I have done. I showed you a clip of it. I just hate to say that I told you so, but I always like to feel right, even when I'm left.
Ha 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 ha.